When you guys look back on the Oregon game, what did you take from that moment and those moments that kind of propelled you forward to where you guys are at right now?
Yeah, I think any time where you have a loss and you don't take it as an opportunity to get better, you're shorting yourself. So that's what we did as a team. We did it offensively, we did it defensively, and we've been able to be successful up until this point to get to where we are now.
And how does the confidence level just shoot through the roof after a performance like you guys had in the first round against Tennessee?
Yeah, it definitely feels good as a team, but every week is a new week, and we know that we have to put our best foot forward on the field every single time. So we're not letting it get to our heads. We're not having big heads about this. We're going to have to go out on the field and do it this week.
What have you learned about your quarterback, Will Howard, and kind of his response to some adverse moments that you guys have had throughout the season?
Yeah, I think he's a tried and true competitor. I think that he's a leader for this team. I'm so incredibly grateful he was able to come here out of the transfer portal. He's been everything that we needed at that position.
Jeremiah's had such an incredible season as a true freshman. How have you watched him grow over the course of the season, and what's your relationship like with him?
Yeah, I think that so Jeremiah is my roommate whenever we travel and home games and stuff like that. So we're able to spend some time together, and it's a little bit of a like a big brother, older brother type of thing. So I'm super proud of JJ, and just obviously he comes in as a very highly touted recruit, one of the most athletic guys I've ever spent my time around. But just seeing the way he's developed and his maturity and his mentality when it comes to the game, that's really where I've seen the most improvements.
When you look at Coach Day, how do you kind of describe or judge the way that he has led this team through, again, like some of the highs and lows that you guys have faced really in the last month, and how that's kind of helped you guys get to this point?
Yeah, he's been my head coach ever since my freshman year, since when I first stepped foot on campus, and he's improved year in and year out, and he's a genuine dude who truly cares about his players and the input that they have to say. And I think that every year that I've been here, he knows the shortcomings of where we fell short, and he doesn't dwell on those, and he uses those to move forward. So I think he's done an excellent job, and I'm very glad to have him at the helm of our ship.
Thank you.
Yep.
You were one of the few people to play in that game against Utah 3 years ago. What do you remember about that game?
I remember it being an instant classic. I think you could rewatch that game and never get sick of it. It was a electric atmosphere. It was a great battle on both sides, and that's traditionally what the Rose Bowl has been. You look at the history behind this game. It's traditionally a Big Ten school versus a Pac-12 school. Even though Oregon moved conferences this year, you kind of have a matchup that you've had in the past. So we're looking forward to playing in this game with all the tradition that goes into it, the beautiful scenery, the amazing venue. So we're just super grateful and blessed to be here.
Just what's it been like having Chip as your offensive coordinator this year?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I think that he's a great mind when it comes to football, and even before the season when we were just in summer training and doing installs and stuff like that, just being able to learn from him and grow my knowledge of the game has been very big for me. But just his mindset when it comes to the things that are not of football and how he's developed us as young men is really inspiring as well.
With Will, how quickly did he kind of integrate himself into the routine and everything with you guys and get up to speed?
Yeah, I think that kind of the second he stepped on campus, we felt like he'd already been here for multiple years. So that's just the type of vibe that you get from Will. And, he stepped in and he was ready to work from day one.
Does it feel like any more of a grind this year with the expanded playoff, having to play a little more games to get to your ultimate goal?
It's definitely been a different journey, and you can feel it. I think that, in a sense, it's preparing us for the next level. I think that you have many more games in the NFL, so kind of just being able to practice putting that load on your body is something that has been very helpful for me. But whether it was you have one game a year or you have 20. You get to the place that you're at, and we're here now, so we're laser focused on this game, and we couldn't be more grateful to be in this position.
Do you guys feel any pressure as an offense to put up a lot of points in this game?
No, not at all. I think that we want to put up a lot of points, but we never feel pressure in any sense. I think that just the place that we are, I think that we're in control of a lot of things. So if we just play our style of football and do what we're coached to do, I think that we'll be successful.
And any memories of the Rose Bowl growing up? Any specific games you watched?
I think the strongest memories have to be the one that I played in my freshman year. I think that was an amazing game that I was able to be a part of. Just the atmosphere and the memories, and being able to witness, Jackson's career day, and Marv scoring his first touchdowns as a Buckeye, and me having some big catches and some big plays and some big punt returns or kick returns and stuff like that. Those are memories that will never leave me for sure.
Is there any advice from that game you've given your team going into this one?
The only advice I could give them is don't make the stage too big. I think that you have to take it in because playing in the Rose Bowl is something that you dream of as a little kid. But at the end of the day, it's the same measurements on the football field. It's the same game you played since you were 8 years old. So don't make it bigger than what it is, and just be yourself.
Was there a feeling in that game that last team that was going to get the ball was going to win? Because Utah quickly tied it, but just what was the mood like just with like a minute and a half left with you guys at that point?
Yeah, I think that, CJ was just so hot that game, and, we knew we had an opportunity to go down the field and put the game away. So I think it all started with, special teams and being able to put our team in a good field position to make that last drive. And then, we did what needed to be done.
What's it been like with Will coming in, because Ohio State's been known to develop their quarterbacks, really go into the portal and bring the experienced guys in. So what's been the advantage having an experienced guy come in?
Yeah, I think that, I said this before, but I think that with every practice and every game and every rep he takes, Will just gets better and better. So he's someone who really takes his reps to heart. He takes every rep critically serious. He's always learning about the game, studying the plays, watching film, and you can just see him develop week after week. So even though he was an experienced guy coming in who had a lot of football under his belt, he didn't feel like there wasn't places where he needed to improve, and he took that to heart, and he stepped on campus and he just got better and better.
And then, you played as a freshman, but what's it just been like seeing Jeremiah come in and have the impact he's had?
I think it's amazing. I think it's he's a rare breed for sure. He's not common amongst 18, 19-year-olds, but I think that we're just very lucky to have him on our side. I'm very lucky to be able to pour into him day in and day out, because although he's a great competitor and a great football player and all that type of stuff, there's some experience things that I have when being around college football that I'm able to give to him with the success that he's had so early.
Would you say it's an advantage or disadvantage to play in front of you've already faced?
I would say I wouldn't really say that they're the same team that we played before, because you look at week 6, how long ago that was. If you're a team that's not getting better, not developing all the way throughout every single week, and you're not a different team by the time you face them again, then I think you're shorting yourself. I think that we're not the same team that they played, and I don't expect them to be the same team either. So it's a nameless, faceless opponent, and we're just ready to step on that field and do whatever it takes.
How have you guys grown from that first matchup?
I think our mindset has grown a lot. I think that we've grown in our accountability and holding each other accountable, and just executing our scheme better, being coached better, taking practice reps more serious. I think that overall everything was trending in the right direction after that loss.
And do you feel like, obviously you guys got off to a hot start in the last game, just being able to score like right off the bat like that, what did that do for you guys' offense? Or did you get the inflow going for the rest of the game?
Yeah, scoring the first drive of the game is definitely a big momentum boost that you can get in football. But football games can go a plethora of different ways. Coach Day always says to us when we come in for halftime, you can either be winning, losing, or the game could be tied. So you just have to know how to battle back from every scenario, because not every game goes exactly to script like you would like to.
Emeka, you the other day you said you grew up a big Oregon fan. What did you admire about them?
I think that this was from when I was in elementary school to middle school. Obviously they have great jerseys, but I think the main thing was that the best player to ever come through my high school committed to Oregon, and I was a big fan of his at the time. I always went to the high school games when I was in middle school, just watching him play and watching him do his thing out there. And when he committed to Oregon, I watched very closely to everything they did. So I was a big fan of them at the time, especially being from the Pacific Northwest. But it was mostly credited to Fotu Liato.
And you mentioned that you were relatively close with Fotu at the time?
Yeah, he was, I'm not sure exactly how much older he was than me. I think when I was in like 6th or 7th grade, he was a senior or something like that. And my quarterback all through growing up, who's the same age as me, his older sister was dating him. So whenever I went over to his house to hang out and stuff like that, Fotu would be there. And, you know, he knew who I was a little bit because I was doing my thing in, you know, Pop Warner youth football and all that type of stuff. So I think he saw something in me and was able to, you know, give me a little bit of experience and advice when it came to football.
What did you admire about him as a player and also like as a person?
Yeah, I think if you pull up, it's actually a fun fact, he has the most viewed huddle highlight of all time. So if you go to his huddle and you just see how relentless of a player he was, just, you know, what you think of when you hear the word football, like he's out there just decapitating people, hitting people as hard as he can. So he played very, very hard, and that's something I really admired about him.
Do you have any memories with him off the field that you look back on kind of fondly?
I would say just you know, seeing how he interacted with all his teammates and stuff like that, and the bond that they had, and how tight they were, just gave me all the motivation to be able to stick close with my class at the time, being my quarterback, my wide receivers, and all that type of stuff, and just having that camaraderie as a team. Yeah.
And last thing, what kind of advice would he give you?
I think his advice that he gave me spoke a lot through his actions and just the way that he played the game a lot. You know, he never took a rep off. He took every rep serious. He was giving it his all every single time. And I just remember, you know, mimicking him off the field on the sideline when I was watching their games and stuff like that, just dreaming to be, you know, half the player that he was. Appreciate that.
Emeka, looking at Jeremiah Smith, you've been around him all season long. He told me he learned a lot of leadership qualities from you in the locker room and on the field as well. What do you feel like you learned from him this season that's made you better as well?
Yeah, I think that something that Jeremiah was born with was just his innate desire to compete and compete at a very high level and kind of not take anything from anybody. So I think that's something he taught me. Was to just put your best foot forward every single day, no matter if it was a practice rep, a walk-through rep, all that type of stuff. And I think, you know, when he stepped foot on campus in the winter and we were able to compete in the weight room, it kind of gave me that spark that I needed, especially, you know, being the guy who was coming back for his fourth year, could have left for his third. Maybe all that motivation wasn't there, but being with him in the weight room every single day, giving me a chance to compete at a very high level was definitely gave me that spark that I needed.
When you look at him, I mean, you guys are already getting the respect. That's a dominant wide receiver for Ohio State. Looking at Jeremiah, is he one of the ones, I know guys can't come out early, but is he one of the ones who did come out early, he can make it at the next level? Yeah,
I think Jeremiah is, he's one of a kind. You know, I think that when you talk about come out early, are you saying like...
I'm saying if he came out, let's say for example he came out this year.
Yeah.
If he could he make it at the next level just with his skill set?
Yeah, I'm not, yeah. I definitely just believe with his skill set and all that type of stuff, he could definitely make it at the next level. But I think that there's a reason, there's a 3-year limit when it comes to college football. I mean, you go to the NFL, you know, you're playing grown men, you know, 34-year-old dudes with, you know, kids and all that type of stuff. So I think just... Yes, he could go out and compete, but I think the 2 more years that he's going to have here to be able to develop his body, develop his mind, learn the in and outs of the game, but also learn how to take criticism, how to take success is all going to be very critical for him at the next level.
How would you define this wide receiver group this season? All the trials and the adversity that you guys have gone through this year, still in contention, not just now, but possibly for a national championship. How would you describe it?
I would say we're a very trustworthy group. I think that, you know, whenever you see the ball come in our direction, not too many bad things happen. So I think that's what we hang our hat on. I think when the ball's in the air, something that, you know, we have to do is make the play. And I think we've done that at a very high level. But, you know, that can't stop now. We're going into the most important game of the year. And then after this game, it's going to be the next most important game of the year, and then the national championship. So we got to keep increasing and doing it at a level that no one else has done it. No problem.
Emeka, when you reflect on your senior year, what are you most proud of?
I was very proud to be honored as a captain by my teammates. That was a very big moment for me, and something that you know I'll never take for granted or forget, because I know that that was one of my goals, stepping foot on campus as a freshman. So just having that honor and being recognized by my teammates was very big to me. And just I think one of the other most memorable things is just what God has been doing on this team through the hearts of the players on this team, and how He's been using me as part of the story.
And during your time here, what's the best advice someone has ever given you?
It's a good question. I would say it either came from Cam Babber, Xavier Johnson. I used to live with them when I was a sophomore, and it's a lesson that it's easy to forget at times, but just not hanging your hat on football, and because your value is not placed in whether you succeed on the field or not. It's placed in what God says about you, and I think that when you have that type of mindset, you're able to play football more free.
And as a player and a person, what area have you seen the most growth in yourself?
I would say I've seen a lot of growth in my walk with Jesus, and that was something that I wanted to improve on when it came to coming back from my senior year. I think that coming back from my senior year, I had a huge platform and a huge following, and I could have used that and exalted myself, but I felt like the Lord was challenging me to exalt Him in that moment, so I did all I could to do that.
And do you have any family or friends coming out here?
I do. I have tons. Being from not too far away, my best friend's coming, all his family's coming, my parents, my siblings, my grandparents, and my dad. So definitely have a lot of people showing up for this game.
Thanks, Emeka.
Thank you.
You guys threw for 300 yards the first time you played them. Are you confident you guys can make plays like that again in this game?
Yeah, I am. Any way that we get the job done, we're only focused on one thing at the end of the day, and that's the scoreboard, whether it says a win or a loss. So however we manage to get there, we're going to be glad to do so.
And Will, just how important was it for him to bounce back against Tennessee, play that type of a game?
Yeah, I think it was very big for Will, but for the entire team, just coming off the last game that we came off of, we knew that if we took care of business when it came to Tennessee, that was going to give us tons of momentum. Now, momentum doesn't mean much if you don't get it done on the field this week, so we're laser focused on this matchup that we have in the Rose Bowl, and we're just grateful for our opportunity to compete.
One more question about football. So, if you don't mind just opening about this next moment, where were you? What were you doing when you found out about this promise?
I think I'm not exactly sure where I was, but I remember my group chat from all my friends back home. I just remember that being blown up, and I looked at it and I saw the news, and I was devastated at the time, and I didn't really understand what was going on. And then I read the police report and all that type of stuff, just how tragic it was. So a lot of family friends who were way closer to him than I was were devastated, and it was just a tough time for our community in general.
Were you still in contact with him?
I was not, no.
And so fast forward to now, just how do you carry his memory, especially in this game?
Yeah, I think that every time I step on the field, it's a chance to shed light on where I'm from. It's still a good pipeline, even though it's a very small school out in the Pacific Northwest. We've had great players to go through there, so I'm able to kind of wear that banner on my back every time I step on the field. So I think that he was proud to be from where we're from, and he never took the opportunity lightly to be able to be on the field, so I shouldn't either. No problem.
What advice would you give to high school recruits that are going through the process?
Like recruiting process?
Yeah.
Let's see, what advice would I give to high school recruits? I would say that one, stay humble, put your faith in God, and two, just I would say kind of when you step foot on campus, it all starts over. No matter whether you're a 5-star or 1-star, it's an opportunity to prove yourself. So put your best foot forward every single day, and stay consistent, and just put your head down and work.
Do you have any funny high school recruiting stories when you're getting recruited?
Let's see. Nothing really comes to mind off the bat. I think my recruiting process went smoother than most. And I credit a lot of that to my parents and kind of how they raised me, and just the corner that I have built.
And then, if you're stranded on an island, what teammate would you not want to be with?
I would not want to be with. Ooh, that's a good question. Let me look around this room real quick. I would not want to be with. Wait, I don't know. I think most of these guys would do pretty good at surviving. Yeah, I don't have an answer right now. Maybe I'll get back to you. Yeah, appreciate it.
This has to feel a lot different than your first Rose Bowl. It's much more of a business trip. It's more like an NFL playoff game. What do you think about the way that college football has evolved? You don't get a lot of the pageantry that you probably got 3 years ago. The fun diversions and stuff. What do you think about it?
I think that when you get down to the core of it, I think if you're a true competitor, you're excited for this type of moment and this type of stage because it's all about football. There's no gimmicks. There's no any of that type of stuff. We get a chance to step on the field on Wednesday and prove ourselves and prove to the nation, prove people right and prove people wrong. So we're very excited for this moment. And even though it's more of a business trip, that's just fine with us.
The first meeting with Oregon this season, when you think back on it, what are your thoughts? What do you remember?
It was a tough game. It was back and forth the entire time. And at the end of the day, we came up short. And I think that every opportunity every time that you come up short, whether it be in the field or in life, it's an opportunity to be able to learn and to grow. So this team took that to heart, and we were able to do that.
It was such a hype game. There was so much hype around it. It was such a painful way to lose. But Cody was saying you guys can't treat this as a revenge game because that puts you in a wrong spot. How do you feel about like the extra motivation you might get from playing a team that you lost to already versus being business-like all that stuff?
Yeah, it's kind of like Cody says. I don't believe in revenge. That's just me. Revenge is not biblical, so it's not something I hang my hat on. But it is an incredible opportunity to be able to, go on the team and compete with someone that you've already gone against. But I was kind of making this point earlier. I don't think Oregon's the same team that we played in Week 6, and I don't think we're the same team that we played in Week 6. So even though they're the same opponent with the same logo, I don't necessarily think that we're the same team. So it's going to be a brand new matchup, a brand new environment, brand new game. So anything that had to do with the past game has nothing to do with right now.
How's the offense better since that game? How have you improved?
I think, without getting into scheme and stuff like that, I think we've just plainly executed better. I think that the coaches have been really clean with the game plan. We've been taking our practice very seriously, and we've been criticizing each other and holding each other accountable, and we were just able to execute better.
What stands out about that defense compared to the last few defenses you faced in terms of what they do well and what challenges they face?
Yeah, I think Oregon has tons of very, very highly skilled players on defense, and I think they do a good job of running their scheme. So, like I said, they didn't make it all the way here for no reason. They're not the #1 team in the nation for no reason, and we know that. So they're a very dangerous team, both offensively and defensively. But we're ready for the challenge. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
How you feeling?
I'm great. Highly blessed.
All right. Talk about it. As far as when you step out onto the field come Rose Bowl day, what will your emotion and adrenaline feel like?
It's going to be amazing. I remember, playing in that game my freshman year, just taking a step onto the field, like you're saying, it's just breathtaking. Just the views, feeling the turf, looking at the logos, how the whole stadium is decked out. It's really an amazing experience, an amazing venue. Everyone who hosts the Rose Bowl does an amazing job. So we're very excited to be able to play in this game, all the tradition that goes into it. So it's going to be amazing.
What will it take to come out victorious in this contest?
It's going to take everything. It's going to take us executing at a very high level, doing what we've been coached to do. It's going to take great leadership, great coaching, and it's going to take a lot of toughness.
Talk about your growth this year.
I think my growth this year has been exactly what I wanted it to be coming back from my senior year. I think that I grew a lot in my faith with God, and I grew a lot on the field as well. So I credit a lot of that to my coaches, being able to see me as a player and develop me, and I credit a lot of that to my teammates for being able to push me.
Talk about your faith. What is the key ingredient, or is there a scripture that you live by that inspires you?
I think my favorite scripture that I try to live by, that's written in my heart in Psalms 37:4. It says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." So I take every single day. I just try to delight in Him. So I think that being a college football player, your schedule is very busy. So sometimes you might not have all the time that you want to be able to get into your word and to pray and all that type of stuff. But it's about the quality in which you pray, not necessarily how much time you spend with him, because he's not oblivious to what you got going on every single day. He knows how much hours I put into my career here in football. But I just try to delight myself in him and walk by the Spirit every single day.
Who's your inspiration in life?
I would say I try to model my life after Jesus and the way he lived his life in all the Gospels. But I think I'm very inspired by. It's hard not to pick someone. I'm very inspired by everybody I share the field with, all my teammates. Very inspired by my coaches. I'm inspired by my parents, who are so humble, and they sacrifice so much for me throughout my life. I'm inspired by my siblings. So there's you can look around and find inspiration from almost anybody that you meet.
And what would you say to all your friends, family, and fans?
I would say I love you guys, and go Bucks. Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
So much focus on you and Jeremiah and Parnell. We don't talk about some of the younger guys. I mean, what have you seen now to guys like Milan and guys that maybe we've not had the opportunity to see?
Yeah, it just reminds you kind of the lineage of historical wide receivers that you have here. So we have so much talent in this room. Like you said, sometimes it's easy to forget about it, but they'll be put on notice very shortly.
You were here for the Utah game, so do you think that that's maybe a little bit of a personal advantage for you, that you're not going to go out there and everything's going to be new, being in the stadium and looking at the scenery, and that you can just really focus on the task at hand?
I think that, playing in this game, it is a very big stage, but at the same time, I think that, we've played on big stages before, so has Oregon, so the diameters of the field aren't different at the Rose Bowl. It's the same game we've played since we were 8 years old, so it's just about putting it all on the field.
We know that Coach Hartline obviously can recruit, and he obviously can develop. I mean, what is it that is the secret sauce with Coach Hart?
I'm not entirely sure. I think if he gave his recruiting tips out to everybody, then they might steal the wide receiver talent away from Ohio State. But Coach Hart does a tremendous job. He's able to. He's obviously been able to get tons of very impactful recruits, but he's been able to develop them at a very high level, and I think that's a lot of credit to him.
Have you heard from guys like Marvin or Garrett or Chris Olave, leading up to this game?
Yeah, I talk to them very frequently, and I'll probably get on the phone with them here shortly, entering this week. But those are guys, lifelong friends that I can contact at any moment.
Trying to think of more to keep going up. With Will, where have you seen the most growth out of Will? I mean, obviously just a one-year guy at Ohio State, but he certainly seems to be a different guy now than maybe even at the start of the season.
Yeah, I think he gets better every single day and every single practice. He takes every rep critically serious. So I think he gets better with every rep that he takes. So yeah.
It's a team with a lot of leadership, but we've seen a lot of the hype videos, and Will's in the locker room screaming and getting everybody psyched up. Is he a great leader?
He's an amazing leader. He's exactly what we need at the quarterback position. Absolutely.
How you doing?
Good.
At Big Ten Media Days, you guys talked a lot about national championship or bust. And I've never really seen a team before the season come out publicly and declare that so much. Why was it important for you guys? Because, it's one thing to say it in close quarters, but you guys, Will, Ryan, everybody was up front. Look, these guys came back, won gold in the national championship. Why was that important to get that out there and not, I don't want to say hide, keep it, in the shadows, but basically come out and say, look, this is what we're coming back for, this is what our goal is?
Yeah, I think that's the goal anytime we step on the field, and I think that, it's not a secret to anybody, especially not here in the building. So we know what we're working towards, and I think that if we keep speaking it, we keep reminding ourselves of why we came back and why we're here. So we're never able to lose that edge.
Did that in some way put more pressure on you guys, or you don't? that's not, you don't believe it?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say so. I think that, like I said, it's been our goal every single year. So whether it's pressure or not, we're used to this feeling, whatever you want to call that. So we're chasing the same thing every single year: to beat the team up north, win a Big Ten championship, and win a national championship. So for probably 100 years down the line, our goals are never going to change. So
Ryan mentioned because you guys could play 15, 16 games, whatever it is, compared to last year where it was a shorter season, that during the year he tried to keep down the number of plays, the number of reps for you guys, because it's a long haul. You want to have something left over for the back end. During the season, could you tell a difference? And that they were, I don't want to say trying to save you guys, but that they were more, trying to keep in mind that, we've got bigger stuff down the road. Let's not just, you got to keep some tread on the tires.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I really noticed that, and I credit that a lot to the coaches. I think that obviously that was I didn't know this up until you just told me. I think that was a goal that Coach Day had in mind. Not being upfront with trying to limit our reps. I think that every rep that we got in practice was very influential and very meaningful. We took every rep critically serious. So I think that kind of masked maybe having less reps. I'm sure, but every time we step on the field, whatever reps we need to get in, we take them serious and we go full tilt.
Thanks.
Thank you.